Kuhn is the fullback with the first and goal. Kuhn gets the call. Pyle trying his way in for the touchdown. What a great second effort.
Y'all don't really want it like that. Here comes the. Here comes the. Here comes the. Y'all don't really want it like that. E-double-L. I said so. I keep big bills up in my heart on the dirty like blood. So ain't got no twist in my head, but I'm still dreadful.
Wolf Pack, what's going on? It's your boy, the Wolf of Roto Street, RotoStreetJournal.com. We breed and feed you fantasy wolves here with your Week 6 sit-start show. What am I talking about? Waiver wires. We'll get there eventually. I'm a little flustered right now because Marvin Jones, just before halftime, caught a long bomb touchdown against me. That's never fun. That's never appreciated. Thanks, Marvin Jones, just for doing it right as I'm about to go on air. Always a pleasant feeling having a nice 30-yard bomb after they convert a 4th and 6. Jeez. Well, good stuff. This happens every time the London game's on there. I'm the Wolf. CJ will be here in a minute. He was having breakfast with his grandma. What a lovely, lovely grandson that is. So he'll be here momentarily. But come on in, guys. Get your questions in. As always, we'll start with Thursday night takeaways. Hit all and there's a ton of sit-start news today. And then we will get through all of your questions. But please get them on in there. Get them in early. Get them in going. And yes, as you're saying, BK, the guns are going. This is a usual Sunday night or a Sunday show staple. We haven't had him on in a couple of weeks. A couple of Wolfpack members complaining. We're going to make sure to get there. But CJ will be here soon, David. Don't you worry yet. Touchdown, F-off tunes. I'm happy for you. I know it helped you out, but there you go. So get your questions in, guys. I'm going to rip through just a couple quick notes on Thursday Night Football, a couple injury notes. But as always, we've been getting hundreds and hundreds of questions these last few weeks. It's been amazing. Last week was split up a couple times, so we didn't get quite to 100 on this show. Let's get back in there, folks. Get, again, all your questions going. There he is. There's the lovely ball.
What's going on?
Himself. How are you, CJ?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing good. The beard looking good and thick. Nice.
It's fall now. I need to keep the face warm.
Hey, exactly. It's big temperature drop coming tonight, too, after some 70-degree fall days. New England's about to get chilled off. I was doing great, but then I'm facing Marvin Jones in my league, and he just caught like a nice 28-yard touchdown before going. Literally, as I'm playing the intro song, I hear touchdown. I'm like, please, anyone but Jones. I knew it, though.
Of course it is, yeah.
Does this happen every time? I swear to God, it's some sort of sick universe out there. Every time there's a London game and every time we go live, somebody scores a touchdown. It's always
last week you had Koo banging like a 55-yarder.
That was nice. That was the one time London's worked in my favor, which is probably why I was so damn excited. This is just like painful torture. Every single year this happens. Somebody scores right as we go on air. But get your questions on, and you guys don't care about my fantasy team. I'm just only supposed to care about yours. Of course, a thumbs up helps us get out to more people. Shares, retweets, dropping us into any Facebook groups you're in. Get this audience going. Whatever reason, I know Twitter has kind of changed it up on us, and we haven't gotten quite as many interactions now because Periscope's down. So help us get back to where we were. We were getting 200, 300 questions a week. We love that stuff. And thanks to everybody as well that had been using the super chat function. We just recently got that live Thursday night. We got a few quick hits on that. Means the world. It also will bump you right to the top. It pops up at the top of our sit start. So if the mailbag does get heavy and you want to make sure you get a good in-depth answer and not just rapid fire, or God forbid we've missed a few because it's gotten so big, hit that super chat and we'll be sure to get to that. Not a requirement by any means, but just in case you want a good in-depth answer.
Could be a requirement.
What's that?
Said it should be a requirement.
Requirement, exactly. The only way to get us our answers now. We love you guys being here and appreciate it. But I'm just going to really talk about the quick Thursday night football takeaways. Leonard Fournette's become almost an every down and every touch player. 22 carries, 81 yards, 2 scores. More importantly, I mean, obviously the scores in terms of raw points is intriguing, but the 6 receptions and 46 yards through the air is what's kind of catching my eyes. Usually when Gio Bernard's been active, it's kind of become a 3-headed nightmare. They've been feeding all the backs. Not this time. Gio Bernard did have like 2 catches in very, very obvious passing situations, but it's clear they're very comfortable using Lenny as a number 1 every down back. He'll be one of the biggest risers tomorrow on my rest of season big board. So check that out. Also, just wanted to quickly remind you guys, Jalen Hurts had 26 fantasy points despite looking like complete and utter ass cheeks. 26 fantasy points still. Wild. So I think this guy, the Konami, again, 2 scores on the ground, just such a high floor. Miles Sanders looking great. 9 carries, 56 yards, like unbelievable burst. I love the mock cheers from the Eagles crowd every time they handed it to him. Like, that's the drumbeat in Philly is feed this guy. Maybe they'll finally listen. They get the Raiders next week, which has been getting pummeled on the ground. So I'm hoping maybe, just maybe, there's some hope for Miles Sanders. I think he's actually a pretty good buy low because either they listen to the Philly faithful and they start feeding this guy who does, again, look great every time he touches it, or maybe they trade him. Imagine he goes to the Chiefs, like an explosive player like this, gets into that backfield. He'd be a top 10 running back. So I'm holding out hope he's either moved or they start to really pound her up. Maybe it's owner. I've talked about my owner bias for Miles Sanders on multiple occasions. Maybe that's just that, but I do think there's some buy low juice to him. Gainwell only played 23% of the snaps compared to 83% for Miles Sanders. The Bucs wide receivers, it continues to be kind of a whack-a-mole. To me, it seems like AB might end up being the most consistent one. Anytime he's been out there, he's seeing 10 or more targets. I mean, it's crazy that AB, but he looks like the best receiver there. I love Mike Evans. I have Mike Evans, but he's going to be the most up and down of them all. He just runs the routes that are like the trickiest to – Brady thrives on separation, and AB is the one that's getting that the clearest here. Whereas Evans, more jump balls, more red zone stuff, but just didn't happen this week. He'll still be fine as well. And that's really all I have for Thursday Night Takeaways. Was there any that you wanted to comment on or anything I missed, do you think, CJ?
I think you hit it all. I mean, it is funny just how Jalen Hurts is just like the ultimate, just like shitty real football player, but really good fantasy player.
It's almost, I mean, not quite on the level of Tim Tebow, but like Tebow would do the same thing. He'd have like 3 points into the fourth quarter. Then he would run in 2 scores. He'd chuck a Hail Mary. And by the end of it, you'd have like 27 fantasy points. I won a title with Tim Tebow.
And it makes me wish Braxton Miller was still in the NFL.
Yeah, exactly. Right. There's like definitely these room for these athletes, at least from a fantasy perspective. Who knows real life? Certainly Jalen Hurts does have a better arm than these guys, but like it's fun to see. Alrighty. The other note we wanted to cover is Zach Ertz did get traded to Arizona. What kind of impact does this have on him? I mean, he's looked okay this year. He's certainly old. He's got pretty dusty legs, but this year he looks better than he did last year. It wasn't hard. It was running in quicksand last year. He does look better. This is big news because Arizona, they had been peppering Max Williams at a decent clip. He went down. I think he had 16 targets over a 3-week span, though. If those go to Ertz in this type of offense, there's going to be value. Tight end is such a wasteland that Ertz could be good. But perhaps even more importantly is the Eagles, who rank second, or at this point second because Thursday Night Football happened. They're probably right around, they were 5 entering the week in terms of team tight end targets. They love peppering the position, and now Goddard has that role to himself. To me, he's going to be probably a top 8 or so weekly guy now without being shackled and having this cheese nibbling situation. What's kind of your take on that one, CJ? Is Ertz going there?
As a Goddard owner, I love it.
Yes.
Ertz, I mean, Max Williams was putting up points, weirdly, even though he's an absolute nobody. And yeah, I mean, it's only a positive. I mean, he might take some targets away from some of the studs on the Cardinals, but other than that, I mean, raises Kyler's ceiling. It just makes the team better.
Exactly. I'd love to see something similar happen with, what's his name? Freaking Blake Jarwin. I like Blake Jarwin. I want him to get somewhere else. We'd love to see that. Something of that nature. Let's like free up Schultz. I mean, Schultz has been freed at this point, but still. Let's continue onward, though, with some quick news. Nick Chubb is out. Kareem Hunt, he's my running back 8. He's a must start. Breaking today was from Tom Pelissero some news that Hunt could be on a touch count. You know, Kevin Stefanski saying, I don't want to kill Kareem, even though he looked good in practice Friday and is going to get more work than usual. Well, more work than usual. The guy's a running back 5 in fantasy right now. So, I mean, I don't care that there might be some touch count in mind. He's going to get more work than he's been getting, and he already was the running back 5. Weirdly, last year he didn't thrive on the work when he became the feature guy. He saw about 16.5 carries per game, 3.5 receptions a game. On that volume, he didn't do anything insane, but he was a clear-cut, like, top 15 guy every single week over that span. You have Kareem Hunt in your lineup. Like, let's not let this little touch count thing. Kareem Hunt is must start. They're giving up the second most yards per carry. The Cardinals are on the ground. It's a windy day. That was like a quick note that I had later. I like the the under on this game. There's windy weather, like 20. It's not quite as bad as looking at like 30 miles per hour this morning. It's come down to 20 miles per hour. But I think with Kingsbury out, like this game might just become like an ugly kind of ground and pound. I mean, Cleveland was just involved in like an 89-point total game last week. So it's risky to say they're going to be low in points. It has bad vibes to me. What are your thoughts on this whole situation, CJ?
Yeah, when it comes to Kareem Hunt, do you ever believe in touch counts? Like, I feel like they just never happen. Like once coaches get into games, they just get like horny and they just don't care about like, oh, that's
100%.
And it's just, like if he's ripping off run after run, they're not gonna be like, all right, he only has 6 touches left in him.
Yeah, the ultimate touch count was McCaffrey like last year. He's gonna come back, but on a pitch count, like 35 touches, I think it was. It's like, come on. I think coaches all say this when a player's a little dinged up. They're gonna say there's a touch count, but as you said, CJ, once it's the heat of the moment, and this ends up being a good game, they're not gonna put in fucking Demetric Felton or Dearness Johnson or whatever creatures are behind Kareem Hunt. He's going to get fed. He's only 6,200 on DraftKings. He's going to be the chalk play. I hope this touch count thing makes him not the chalk play, so it's a little bit more appetizing. I know I don't want to take too much time on this because, again, with the mailbags getting up there, awesome guys. Keep those questions coming in. On DFS, I'm sneaking in. The chalk plays seem to be Hunt and seem to be Darrell Henderson. Both good values. I can't argue that they're bad plays. They're great plays. I'm sneaking in a couple more $100 and going to Mixon against Detroit. There's no Samaje Perine.
Yeah,
he's not. I guess we might as well cover this one right now. He's already said he's going to have a full workload. I think Chris Evans might even be inactive, if I'm not mistaken. Like, there's nobody. There's nobody else, and Detroit is getting demolished. The second most points on the ground. This has all the makings of like week 1 Joe Mixon, where he had 30 touches and killed it. But he also gets an easier matchup now. So if we get 25, 30 touch Joe Mixon, I think we're going to get – I don't know if you remember last year, there was like a week 6 game where he was facing the Jags, and like nobody was playing him because he was coming off a string of bad games and injuries, and he had like 35 points, and he was in the Millie Maker lineup. Like this seems to me like the weird universe repeating. Marvin Jones catching a touchdown right before we went live to smash me. The universe just repeats itself. Joe Mixon's going to have a smash week. I'm feeling it in the bones. So make sure you have him. I got some questions in the DMs. Like, come on, it's Joe Mixon smash week. Did you feel any differently on that?
No,
CJ?
I just was doing my lineups right before this, and I have him locked into 2 out of 3. So.
Yeah, I love it. And I think it's a good way to pivot because, yes, Hunt is going to be chalk, and so is Henderson. And they're chalk for a reason. They're great plays. They're probably safer plays than Mixon, but I love getting that.
And there are a ton of good cheap running backs too, like Khalil Herbert.
And I think everyone's going to be going there. I'm going Mixon, Eckler, all my lineups. That's where I'm loading up on that one. Going expensive and kind of pivoting away from those. But yeah, so Nick Chubb's out. Obviously, that hurts. I don't think it's going to be too long of an injury, but they couldn't play. C-Mac is also out, not only this week, but on the IR. What an absolute I don't even want to fucking talk about Christian McCaffrey. I hate him. Like 6 games played since 2019. That's just so mind-numbing, but he gets all these great photo shoots in, at least with his model girlfriend and shirtless towels. And get out of here.
He's get his money. Good for him.
He got his bag, and is this really going to be? I didn't want to think McCaffrey was that type of guy, and maybe he's not. Maybe he's just built this like quick, twitchy way, and he's just not a true stallion like Henry. I don't know. It just pisses. I'm 0-5 on my McCaffrey team. I'm doing really well for the most part this year, but in my college league, I'm getting destroyed with my Holy Cross buddies, and I just lost McCaffrey for long.
Yeah, our sleeper league. I have like 5 guys on IR in that league.
It's awful. I feel bad for Hills. All 7 of her first picks have been on the IR at some point this year. It's like I'm going to be in the car for a long time. I think I might as well move out at this point. It's not looking good for me. But yeah, Chuba Hubbard, meanwhile, he's my running back 19. He's pretty much a lineup lock. Had 27 expected fantasy points, was number 3 in terms of that last year. He only put up 20. He's not the most efficient guy, but work is work is work. I think this guy is definitely in your lineups. On the other side of that ball is Dalvin Cook, full participant. He's off the injury report. You don't need me to tell you Dalvin Cook has to be in your lineups, but he has to be in your lineups. I see that Carolina's like the 32nd in terms of points allowed, like the hardest matchup for running backs. I don't get it though. Like there's nothing terrifying about that defense in my opinion. They are a good defense, but like you're going to Cook, right? You have him. You're going.
Yeah, they're a little overrated, I think.
Yeah,
and especially because they were also like being the shot at teams in the beginning of the year, and so I think that kind of teams are passing on them more. Maybe that like the rushing number skewed a little bit.
Yeah, I for some reason, and now that I have Dalvin Cook, what a trade that ended up. You remember live when I got that text last week?
Wait, did you end up doing it?
Oh yeah, and I got the win too. I did it, got the win. He didn't get the win, and now Chris Carson's on IR. Madison's borderline useless. Wow. Oh man. Like you want, I always like, and Nate might be watching right now. I always want trades to work out, like so you can keep trading with people. But I think we've already been embargoed at that point for this season. And I have Alex Collins for what it's worth as well. So, oh man, that whole trade. But yeah, Dalvin Cook, he's in your lineups. He's locked in. Chris Carson, we were just talking about this on the IR. Collins is a top 24 despite the tough matchup. Next 3 weeks, he should be a pretty usable guy. I get it's not the same Seahawks as with Russell Wilson, but Well, I'm excited to see what Geno does. His first start in 5 years or something crazy. He looked pretty serviceable when he came in last week. I'm excited just to see what it looks like. And either way, they're probably going to be more run heavy than they would have with Russell Wilson. I think Collins is pretty much a lock into flexes or lineups. I have to decide between Knox and Collins and Javonte Williams. I need two of those three. CJ, any leaning on there? Javonte Williams, Alex Collins, and Dawson Knox.
I feel like Collins is definitely probably the most safe, I guess. Although I don't know. I can't do a tight end over two running backs. It's just something my brain just wouldn't allow me to do.
Good, though. How Knox is literally the tight end 2 in fantasy right now.
Oh, he's absurd. He's like Tunyon of last year.
Exactly. I think I'm going to keep rolling him until he disappoints me type of guy. He's earned his spot, but Collins is going to be tough to bench. I'll have some time tonight to decide. But either way, he played 71% of the snaps last time Carson missed, looking like that type of player. But it is, I will say, one other quick note on that. Rashad Penny's dropped in almost every league at this point. He is also still IR eligible if you have those types of spots. I don't see any reason against putting Penny onto benches, especially in the IR spots right now, just because Carson's going to be missing time. What if this lingers? There's up and down reports whether this could be season end. You never know how this will go. So I do think Penny makes an intriguing stash. He's only 5% rostered right now. If you have trash or you have a free IR spot, look to Rashad Penny at this point. We mentioned Kingsbury out. We already covered that. In that same game, Edmonds is questionable, but as of today, likely to play. Mediocre. He's been really good. Solid the first 3 weeks, then a dud last week. I don't know if the injury's playing into that. You've got James Conner always vulturing, which sucks. He'd probably be on my bench if I could have him on my bench. Let me know if you have questions on him. Jacobs and Barber are both off the injury report, which I liked Jacobs heading into the week. Barber being back kind of muddies that up. Everything about the Raiders is just weird and disgusting right now.
Yeah. Staying away from non-Hunter Renfrows, basically.
Yeah, exactly. He's the only – that's crazy.
Actually, Waller too, of course.
Yeah, of course. But Waller and Renfrow is really all that you can trust. Jacobs, every time he plays, he gets into the end zone pretty much. So if you have Jacobs, you could play him. But there's other guys I'd rather have in there, including Devontae Booker, a top 15 running back for me this week, on just volume alone. Played all but one snap, all but one touch once Saquon went down, all the route participation from the running back position, 2 touchdowns. And now you got Danny Jones back. And the Rams, good defense, but they're surprisingly middle of the pack against running back so far this year. I think Booker, just on the sheer volume, is going to be a good play. He, in 10 games that he's seen, 12 plus carries, he's averaged 15 or more fantasy points, 15.66, I believe is the exact average of that. And he scored 11 touchdowns in those 10 games. He's going to get you in the end zone. It's just a matter of how many more catches does he have on top of that to tell you what type of ceiling game he has. But I'm locked in on him. He's a pretty controversial one. I think we're going to get a lot of questions on him, CJ. Do you have I gave my spiel on him.
I'm right in line with you. He's basically a must start if I own him.
Of these running backs, I kind of want to now get to the other one, and then we can debate who do you like more type of thing. Where did I have his note? Damien, where I'm leading is Khalil Herbert. I thought I had a thing
basically the stream team of running backs.
Exactly. So Damien Williams on COVID. I don't have a banner on that one right now, but Damien Williams on the COVID list. You got Khalil Herbert in there. Who would you prefer between a Booker and a Herbert?
I think Booker there. He even though I want to say he's done it before, he has, but not really.
Exactly.
For some reason, just that Saquon role is just so productive, and I feel like anyone that Wayne Gallman last year, just kind of anyone that is in it can thrive in it, and I really like that role.
Exactly. I think that Wayne Gallman's the perfect name to bring up because he was the RB7 over that span when he became the starter for those 5 or 6 weeks. And that offense was far worse than the Giants one we're dealing with right now. So, volume is king. I'm with you. And he catches the ball. So, yes, Khalil Herbert, a top 20 stream with Damien Williams out. But I prefer Booker. Herbert did have the carry total. He had 18 to 16 compared to Damien Williams last week. So, that was nice to see. I do think he's going to see 15 to 20. Ryan Nall is the next back behind him. I think he's a fullback.
He's a converted tight end, I believe.
So he is the only running back. I wouldn't be surprised, though. He played pretty much none of the passing downs. Didn't see a target last week. He wasn't known as a great receiver in college either. I'm sure he can. He's an NFL player. He probably can catch. But I wouldn't be shocked if, for pass protection reasons, that becomes Nall. And if they get down early against Green Bay, I wouldn't be. I think Herbert, like I like him, but of these streams, I feel way better about Booker. I feel way better about most of these guys. So if any of them are going to bust this week, I think it's going to be him. I'd rather have Darrell Williams, for example, than him. He's just like multifaceted guys. Herbert to me feels like the riskiest, as like could get game flowed out. He could also have 2 touchdowns. Like they're all good dart throws. But of them, Herbert's my least favorite. I just wanted to kind of get that out there. Mm-hmm. And last couple here, McLaurin and Tyreek were both questionable. They're expected to be in. That game is 55.5, I believe, is the points total at this point. And now that those guys are in there, I think they're going to go for 70. Like that game is going to go nuts today. Washington's at home. You got pissed off Chiefs, like points. I think it's just going to be back and forth. And that's how I'm stacking DFS for sure. Do you feel any differently about that one?
No, I actually just did another lineup with like Heineke, McLaurin, Seals Jones, Hardman, just kind of everyone. I'm just trying to like put everyone in there.
Yeah, exactly. I love that one. My buddy was asking me what's my favorite bet of the day. And I don't do bets, but I thought that over under at like 54.5 was my by far favorite bet.
Yeah.
Over any spread, over anything. I think that game is just, I mean, the Chiefs might put up 40 on their own, and Washington, Chiefs are giving up the most points in the league. Washington's giving up the second most points in the league. Both of them are in the top 10 in terms of points, or 12 for Washington, 5 for Kansas City in points scored. Like it's just going to be a bananas game, in my opinion. That's the one that goes nuts. So as we mentioned, Danny J is going to be back. Daniel Jones, top 5 quarterback before he got hurt. There's upside. I mean, the guy has been, I hate to say it because I've been so down on him. He's been good. He's been actually good. Even without Golladay, there's tons of juice here because you got Sterling Shepard back. You got Darius Slayton back. And of course, my favorite of them all is Tony, who really does look like a genuine difference maker. In fact, he beat OBJ's record for yardage among rookies. So, and everybody, is he the next OBJ? He might be. It certainly looks like he's after the catch, at the catch point. Like he attacks the ball. I don't know. I love this Tony kid. Tough against the Rams, but how are you playing these Giants receivers? CJ?
I was just gonna ask you what are your thoughts on Shepard? Because I'm kind of stuck in like bye week hell with I think like 4 or 5 players on the bye week, so I might have to go with Shepard today in the flex. And there really is like no other option, so I'm kind of just expecting like I don't even know what to expect.
I think you're going to be okay because we know the Rams are going to put up their points. You know the Giants are going to have to be throwing, and Shepard the first few weeks was the alpha, the clear target hog. I know Tony's going to change that potentially. But there's definitely a rapport there with Daniel Jones and Shepard. Remember, a lot of Tony's production came with Glennon at quarterback last week. So, like, we can't just automatically assume he's going to be right at the top of the target totem pole. I like Shepard play. I would love to know who's in the slot because that seems to me like that's the more driving factor.
Yeah, I thought I saw something on Twitter about Tony in the slot and Shepard outside.
Shepard does. He's got way more outside experience.
He might get Ramsey, which is a little sketchy. But
so exactly. That's the biggest question is where does Ramsey end up? It's not going to be the slot. So whoever goes in there, I think they'll move the guys around though. So we'll see. So yeah, it's a tricky one, but I don't think Shepard's the worst of flex plays by any means at all. Damien Harris is questionable, but I hope you have other options, but if not, obviously potentially playable for sure. Williams is expected to play barring a setback. He's a must start. He leads the NFL in receiving touchdowns. He's the second receiver in fantasy. You're not benching Mike Williams as long as he's in there. And as of right now, he is. Julio Jones practiced in full. He's expected to be back. He's on my bench, though. Buffalo, the lowest points to receivers, and it's by like a big margin. I don't want to trust them. They weren't doing good anyways. Like, why trust him? Similar to Allen Robinson, he's questionable. He's going to play most likely. You shouldn't play him, though. Even if, banged up. I get everybody keeps wanting to make the narrative for him. Oh, it's Green Bay. They're banged up. Oh, they're going to have to throw playing from behind. All probably true. I'm not touching this guy. Are you going to give him any type of looks?
After what I was saying last week, I mean, I've been such like bye week hell on like every single roster right now where I just have to put players in, and he's another one that I was feeling it last week. I think I'm off now, but
yeah,
I literally have no other option, so it is what it is at this point.
It is. You got to get off the train. Watkins is out. Bateman's back in. He's likely to be limited, they're saying. But I don't think you play Bateman unless you're in your type of shitty ass situation. You might need to toss him in there. I do want to roster him though. He's I think up to 27% roster now coming off the IR. We're seeing these rookie receivers look very solid for the most part, and many people have this guy at the top of the class other than Jamar Chase. But I am very intrigued to see what he does. And, in years past, I probably wouldn't have been that intrigued. They're averaging 33 pass attempts per game, the Ravens are. Lamar, their defense sucks this year. So Lamar's getting himself in negative scripts. there's going to actually be room to feed Marquise Brown, to feed Mark Andrews, and potentially to sustain a third wide receiver there in Bateman. So I like this. I at least stashing him and seeing what happens. I don't know if I want to start him at all, but I would certainly be looking to stash him. And last thing is just D injuries. Diggs is a true game time decision. That'd be a huge boost to Myers if he's out. I don't know if I'll trail him in the slot anyways. I do love Myers as a play against Dallas, giving up the second most passing yards in the league. You know they're going to put their points up on us. All righty. That's all I got in terms of sit-start news. If we see anything else or you guys see anything else, or if Marvin Jones decides to be an a-hole and put another one in, or what any big happenings in the game. Do you have it on your background, CJ? Because I don't.
I don't, but I have like on alerts and whatever else.
Okay, yeah. So if anything big happens, let us know. Wolfpack out there. But otherwise, let's get on in there. We got, looks like about 100 questions so far. Awesome. Love to see it. If you want to, again, guarantee an answer, the super chat it's a great way. Whether you really care about the answer, you just want to show appreciation. It's a good, new, easy way to do that for the Wolfpack. Not necessary by any means, but just wanted to throw it out there. If you want a guaranteed answer that we'll spend more and more time on than typical. Those super chats mean the world and help support the show. Indeed. Let us get going. We already talked about these guys, Marvin Jones for tunes, all that crap. Good to see you, boy, Gable. And let's continue here.
All right. She done. Hey, brother, need 2 of these PPR. Collins, Pollard, AJ Brown.
Ooh, tough one. It's kind of crazy that AJ Brown might be my least favorite here.
I was going to say that too.
I mean, it's Pollard. I like Collins the most, weirdly. I like Pollard today against Patriots linebackers. I do too. Yeah, he's got so much more speed. Like Van Noy's going to run with Pollard.
No, they have the slowest linebackers.
Give me a fucking break. Yeah, I mean, Pollard, I like. I think I'm benching AJ Brown. I don't think anybody else is going to give you that answer. I know you said the same, CJ, but like no show is ever going to tell you to bench AJ Brown of those two. So I feel like a psycho, but I'm not into it. I mean, they're talking about playing on a snap count till week 10, and he hasn't been good anyways. And then now it's the hardest possible matchup. I don't know. I'm avoiding that passing game completely. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm right on there with you. Collins will get the touches. Pollard, I think, will eat against Patriots defense.
Yeah,
I'm sitting AJ Brown.
I'm leaning the same way.
Campanelli, standard wide receiver. Pick one of these, Keenan or A-Rob. It's not close.
Keenan. It's Keenan. It's not even close. I know Keenan's more of a PPR guy, but like it's Keenan. I think he's going to eat. There's this good stat about how their DVOA against the slot is like they're very generous against the slot versus outside. They're one of the better teams. I think Keenan's going to have a field day today. Campanelli,
standard, pick one, Swift, Booker, Herbert.
I'm going to go Swift. I know we were raving about Booker as a stream, but Swift is so damn good. Great in the red zone. Like the de facto number one receiver, 17% target share, leads the team. I'm into Swift for sure.
Campanelli, I like the 3 comments in a row instead of putting it into one. Standard tight end, pick one, yeah, Hawkinson or Knox. Like Hawkinson or Knox.
I'm going Knox at this point, baby. I'm not benching him. I feel like we've been like chasing the ghost of those first 2 weeks of Beethoven of Hawkinson, and I think he's dinged up or whatever it is. It's not there anymore. He's been the tight end 24 or worse. He's been the tight end 30 or worse in 2 of his 3 weeks. Tight end 24 or worse in 3 of his 3 weeks. I'm not into it right now. I'm going Knox, baby.
Tunes, beard's looking fierce, CJ, but I do have a lot to catch up to there.
Yeah, I don't know if anyone ever catch Tunes' beard there. I know I trimmed mine a couple days ago. I'm feeling a little bit self-conscious now. You coming in so hot with like the Samaje Perine thick-ass beard going on here. It's been Samaje Perine week. That was the worst Google search of my all time.
If he's vaccinated.
Yeah, is Samaje Perine vaccinated? I don't think I've ever sent anything more desperate in the interweb than that. And folks, if you don't mind hitting that thumbs up for us again, helps us get out to more people, continues to grow the show on YouTube, on Facebook, on Twitter. We can't see your questions, so make sure you get to one of those other 2 channels, preferably YouTube. But thank you again for considering sharing this out, building it up. I love that we're already at 100 questions and we want to continue to get back up to 200, 300, those crazy Sundays. So give us that thumbs up, help us get out to more people, and let's continue forward.
Bo Gable, flex, half PPR, Schultz, Claypool, Hines, or Hilton.
I like Claypool the most here. Seattle's been getting destroyed by receivers, I think the 5th most points. No Juju. We saw that huge target jump for Claypool last week in this situation. I do really like Dalton Schultz. I mean, he's been eating. But for me, Claypool's the clear one ahead of these.
We got a J-Rob touchdown.
I'm facing him in Holy Cross. Woo.
Campanelli, full PPR, tight end pick, either Fant or RSJ.
I mean, I almost want to go our namesake. I'm rolling the dice big on RSJ in DFS and in some leagues when I'm desperate. I mean, oh man, that's tough.
I'm going
truly, Noah Fant's he's having a good solid year. I think that's getting a little cute to go RSJ, but man, it's our namesake, and there's a lot of narrative for him. I just wanted to use this opportunity to talk about RSJ real quick. 99% of snaps, 83% or 87% route participation, 9 targets last week. I didn't know it didn't come into a ton of points. I think it was a 5-catch, 41-yard day, but he was looking at a lot. I posted about him, and a lot of Washington fans were like, it looked like Heineke was trying to find this guy every single play. He just was always looking in his direction. So I don't know. There is some juice here to RSJ. I would still probably go Fant myself, but I don't know. It's our namesake. It's close.
Justin Vetter, Brandon Cooks over Knox, right?
I don't know. No, wrong. I love Knox. I mean, I do like Cooks against this Colts team that got destroyed by Marquise Brown deep routinely last week. I think Cooks has a good rebound game in him today, so I probably would do that, but it's not like this awesome lock it. Like, Knox has been too damn good. The tight end 2 in fantasy right now. I didn't mean to skip you, Danny Jennings. Good morning to you as well.
John Schuler, Chris Evans or Singletary? Yikes.
I probably Singletary. Is Evans active today? I thought I saw something about him not being the back.
I'm not sure. I didn't see anything about that.
Yeah, I don't know. So not to ignore your question, I guess Singletary, but I don't know. We're in the weeds there. None of these streamer running backs were available. That's tough.
Jones, Boyd, Beasley, DeAndre Carter, or see what Bateman can do?
I'd go Boyd. He's facing Detroit. I mean, I don't love him season long, but I think this is the week you got to go Boyd facing that pathetic defense.
With Ertz now in Arizona, is Rondo more droppable? Asked Danny Jennings.
I mean, Ertz isn't changing my opinion. He kind of slides into the Max Williams role that was already happening. I think Moore is still pretty juicy to hold on to. He's not a must-hold, though. He hasn't been a must-hold for a while now. So if there's somebody you really like, go for it. But it's not because of Ertz being there. No, it doesn't change much for me.
Mike Clay, Tim Patrick, or Alex Collins, full PPR?
Full PPR makes it a little trickier, but I'd probably go for the running back here. Collins was involved in the routes. I mean, DJ Dallas was more of them, but he still sees some receiving work. Patrick is nice and safe.
I'm going Patrick.
I looked at his game log. He has 12 or more in all but one start this year. If Collins got 12, I'd be stoked. I go Patrick there in full PPR. Yeah, he's nice and safe.
Steph Progan, Herbert or Jacobs PPR?
I think I'm going to go Herbert there. PPR, I guess, a little higher with Jacobs, but he doesn't see a ton of receiving work either.
Reading that name today is going to confuse me so much. I was like, why is she asking
Justin Herbert?
Herbert against Jacobs?
Right.
Where are we? Steph Progan, Knox or Hawkinson? We already got that.
We got that one for someone else, but yeah, I went Knox myself. I'm big into Dawson Knox.
Charlie Preble. I need 2 of these. I need 2 of these. Booker, Collins, and Manny Sanders. I'm
benching Collins there. I love Manny Sanders. He's my favorite of these options. I'm locking him in everywhere. And then Booker, I really like it running back too.
Tunes, I'm stacked at quarterback in one league. It's a 10-man league, so quarterbacks do not have a lot of value. Would you try to trade Hurts for Emmanuel Sanders?
If that's the one where you have Herbert and Stafford and Hurts, yes, absolutely. I know the one you're talking about, Tunes, and yes, I would do that.
Trade 7-2-1 standard score. I need a running back and a flex. Harris, Booker, Higgins.
I mentioned Damien Harris there. Yeah. Did you say the same?
Yeah.
Yeah. Harris is a little sketchy right now. Doubtful that the Eagles trade Sanders. I know, but let a boy dream, Mike Clay. Let a boy dream, ESPN Insider.
DJ Johnson, full PPR, Patrick or Ruggs?
Patrick for me. Ruggs is just too much of a Hail Mary. I like that he's expanded his game a bit this year, but it's clearly not to the level where he's a dependable every week guy.
Marco Escobar, good morning, fellas. Would you start Cortland Sutton or Javonte Williams in the flex today, full PPR?
I do think it's Javonte Williams' breakout week, but Sutton, second in the NFL in air yards right now. I'm going to go Sutton. Absolutely.
Benny Jennings, Hurts, and Lenny got me 53.3. Gaskin so far 0.8.
Nobody has been a bigger fantasy mindfuck than Myles Gaskin this year. 31 against Tampa Bay, the hardest run D, one of the hardest in the league, to 0.8 against the fucking Jags. I don't get it, Denny. I think he's hate cuttable just because it's I don't ever want to even consider you again in the future.
Jeremiah Moore, A-Rob, Bateman, or Damian Harris in the flex, full PPR.
Oh, that might be one, especially full PPR. Maybe you
That's
go for
something
A-Rob.
I'm dealing with right now.
I think you go with A-Rob there. I don't want to trust Harris. Dallas has a pretty good run D and a really bad pass D. And we've seen the Pats in similar scripts, like just hammer the pass. I'm going to go A-Rob, and I hate it, but like, no. I tweeted some A-Rob like shit talk today or yesterday. So that's usually when they'll get going. If I dump on a player, they clearly pricked him out and put him on the log.
Yeah, he's been searching his name.
Yeah, exactly. He's that Wolf loser. I'm going to stick it to him today.
CJ Johnson, half PPR, Higbee or RSJ?
I go Higbee. Higbee's just in that offense, always a great bet for a score. I do love RSJ, but it's Higbee.
Fella, Woods, DK, Lamb, AJ Brown. Pick 2 of these.
It's not AJ Brown. I'll tell you that much, fella. I love the other 3. I'm leaning DK Woods. Lamb should destroy us, Pats, though.
Yeah, I like DK Lamb.
I'll tell you this, though, and I've gotten a few texts, Anthony, about DK. I'm not worried about him at all. I'm playing him. Like, obviously, I prefer Russell Wilson. Like, no shit. But Geno, I don't think is going to be that bad for him. He caught a touchdown from Geno last week. Like, so it comes down to Woods or Lamb for me. I don't know. That does get tough. Do you have my rankings pulled up, CJ? I know you always have like the 18 monitors.
Who do I have right? Yeah, but your rankings have been updated in 3 days. I don't know if that matters, but I
updated them yesterday. That can't be right.
No, it still says it 14 on mine.
Oh, does it? Yeah, that's weird. Hold on. I might need to make sure I publish that then, because I updated them yesterday afternoon and I checked them again this morning. So I'll have to I'll double check that, Wolfpack, while we're here. Not that I like to go off my gut on the show anyways to see if anything contradicts it. So on the rankings, I had CD 16 and Woods 19. So that's the rankings. The CD's higher, but honestly, my gut's telling me Woods. So I think I'm leaning Robert Woods, but I'm going to pull up my rankings just to make sure I didn't miss any key news, because I tried to update.
It still says at the top updated 10-14, like Mixon downgraded, whatever.
Oh yeah. So I got to change that for sure. Do you want to? I'll hit a couple sit starts. Do you want to change the top of that article to just say like 10, whatever the date is today, with Mixon going to have a full workload, 10-17? I definitely updated the rankings yesterday, but maybe it just didn't publish through. So I'm going to keep hitting your sit starts while I update these rankings as well. Thank you, Wolfpack. You know how Sunday mornings get. It's mostly important for the rankings competition. So got to make sure to get that just updated. Alrighty, Abady. Standard scoring, you got Julio, Rondale Moore, Kirk, Patrick, Boyd, start 3. Oh, yeah, Christian McCaffrey still in my rankings. I definitely changed this shit yesterday. Why is this like this? I don't know. This is annoying. I double-checked this morning. What the hell? But Abady, let me see here. Yeah, True. I did bump up True. I guess I just didn't X out of this. Thank you guys for your patience on air here as we get this figured out. Standard scoring, not Julio, not Ron. This is tough options. Oh, yeah, sorry, 3 of them. Okay, so we got a lot of shit to sift through. I'm going to go Patrick. It's non-PPR, though. Standard scoring. Ew. I'm
going Julio, Patrick, Boyd.
I think so, too. No, I don't like Julio at all this week. I'm going Patrick and Boyd. I like both of them. And then, I don't know, flip the dice between freaking Moore and Kirk, but I don't know. I'm gonna go Boyd Patrick. I'll figure out the rankings a little bit later. I don't want them to be wrong for people on the site, but let me just publish it without. I gotta get Julio back in, I think. Or I put this all in yesterday. I just didn't go through. So let me just bump that up. Darrell Williams or Jamal Williams. I'll go Darrell Williams for sure there. Yeah, I have Julio back in there. Okay. I'm publishing these now, Wolfpack. Thank you again for your patience. Indeed. Just to make sure everything is up and loaded. I was up at like 6 a.m. to double check all this stuff, and it looked good to me. I don't know why things didn't save. There's definitely been some issues with the rankings tool this year, for sure. Oh, I had Preston Williams as my wide receiver 75. Oh no. Fuck. Now I'll get like dinged for like 1,000 spots in the rankings competition because I had left Preston Williams in. It's been a shitty year for that crap. All righty. Thank you guys again. CJ.
Tunes, Darrell Williams or Jamal Williams?
Darrell, 100% Darrell for sure.
Chillard, Wolfie, it's fall. Put some sleeves on.
the fans, we got DMs. We literally got death threats for the sleeves to come off. I'm a man of the people, Chillard. I got to get the sleeves off. I'm wearing too much. I might take the whole shirt off just for you. That's Swills from BK. Morning, Tony. Good to see you, Chillard. Awesome stuff. I want to get Willard's take on Christian McCaffrey live on air.
Should tag him in sometimes. Yeah. Tunes, Jamal Williams is an RB2 due to Bye's injuries. Do I pick up David Johnson or Stevenson and hope that Damien Harris is still banged up? He's playing today, but
I would just use Jamal Williams there. Yeah. I wouldn't bother with any of that other crap.
First, are OBJ, Hunter Henry, or Khalil Herbert. Pick 2.
I'm benching OBJ. I hate OBJ. I mean, I like Hunter Henry's tough, but ultimately, yeah, I'm going Herbert. I'm going Hunter Henry. Tough situation you're in, but I don't trust Odell at all right now. Chillard. Don't discuss McCaffrey. He stinks in his frail. Yeah. One of those things is true, it seems, these days.
Tony Samaj, considering trading Chuba for Michael Thomas and Madison.
That's a pretty good deal. You got the running back depth to pull that off, and then you get Madison to kind of have your Cook insurance policy. I think you do this, especially it's different if you're like 1-3. I mean, 1-4 or 2-3 at this point. Then it's a little different. But if you're not in must-win mode, if you're in a decent spot, that deal is certainly better for your team, in my opinion.
Sarah Riley, half PPR, Booker, Herbert, Collins, sit one of these.
I would sit her. I think I'd sit Collins. I think of these guys. What do you think, CJ?
Yeah, I was leaning that. That's such a tough matchup.
Yeah, Steelers.
It's like not having Russ there. Just like the offense is not going to be as great as it.
Yeah, I'm nervous. Herbert's going to get game flowed, but I wouldn't be surprised to see him at least be viable until he gets game flowed. The Green Bay is a bad run D, and he looked like a solid, just pure runner. So I like that.
Oh, he's built like Doug Martin too. It's great.
Yeah, that little hamster.
Evan Buss, week 6. Let's get him, Wolf.
What up, Buss? Great to see you. We got all the Willard's bachelor party crew here. I love to see it.
Sarah Riley, half PPR, Claypool, Hollywood, Manny Sanders. Sit one of these. I'm sitting Manny.
I just did that. Alrighty. That's a tough one right there. You said you're sitting Manny?
Yeah.
Manny versus Claypool is tough, but yeah, with Juju now out, I think otherwise it would have been I'd play Manny over Claypool, but I think of this, I'm going Claypool, I'm going Marquise Brown, I'm sitting Manny. Great receivers there. Holy crap.
Tunes, did we notice Herbert's hair is growing back and he's playing better?
Yeah. Samson. Exactly. Once he cut his hair, he was a little boy, but now he's back to being a man. Yes, 100%.
Tony Samaj probably sit. Oh, it's answering Sarah's question.
I don't think you can sit Marquise, Tony. No, he's had 19 or more in every game except the game he had 3 drops in, and he would have been well over 19 had he had that. I can't sit Marquise at this point. No way.
Andres, hey guys, need 2 receivers and a flex, half PPR. Would you flex Alex Collins or Khalil over Pittman, Sutton, Cooks?
I don't think so. Cooks is on the fence. So is Sutton, I guess. Half PPR. It would be Khalil over Cooks if I was gonna, but I don't think so, Andres rather. I stick it out.
He's still talking to Sarah.
Okay. Oh, yeah. It is a golden matchup, but still, I can't bench Marquise now.
Chillard, sits our 2 league CEH and McCaffrey on IR. Madison or David Johnson?
Oh, God.
That's disgusting.
Is this PPR? Is it standard? Oh, I'd go Madison. I mean, somebody's starting David Johnson.
The second question's even worse.
Yeah. I don't know. No, you can't start Madison with Cook there. You got to just hope David Johnson catches a touchdown or some crap.
I mean, JJ Taylor's not active. I don't think so.
Yeah, I think your only option's Phillip Lindsay, but holy crap, Willard. Like Marlon Mack, Mark Ingram obviously is clearly not an option.
It's like a 25 team league.
Like, what the hell? How is it that bad that's where you have to go to? There's got to be something.
Hey, stop commenting on our Instagram posts and work on your roster.
Yeah.
David Glass, standard with the McLaurin news. Should I go with Jamal Williams or Collins?
I'd go Collins there. Is McLaurin out?
Well, no, I was going to say, I think McLaurin's fine. I'm not worried about that.
Unless he's announced.
No, he's.
Yeah.
Rivera said that he's fine. He just, they're like.
Yeah. You're playing McLaurin, but if it's. You're playing McLaurin, David Glass, as long as he's in. But if he's out for whatever reason, it'd be Collins over Williams for me.
DJ Johnson, I love the Panthers defense. They have great all-around line, can rush the passer. Shaq Thompson having all.
He really has having a crazy year, Shaq Thompson. So it's a good point, DJ. They have a good front seven. I just think Dalvin Cook, he's kind of almost matchup proof in that zone blocking scheme. Let's see. Fingers crossed. We'll see.
Go up one. You missed an Evan Buss. Evan Buss, who are we going with in the flex? Alex Collins, A-Rob, Renfro, PPR.
I would go full PPR, probably Renfro. He's the safest in my opinion. So I'd go Renfro over A. Collins.
Oh, you just skipped Sheeta.
I know. I just laugh at that. Willard's out here starting freaking Philip Lindsay and JJ Taylor, and he's saying Devontae Booker stinks. He's a never start. You should be begging on your knees in your sit starts, Chillard, for a gift like fucking Devontae Booker.
She don't need to. I should think we got this earlier. Collins, Pollard, AJ Brown. We were sitting AJ Brown. Brent Australia, Gibson or T.Y. Hilton.
1 sec. There was just a touchdown. Did you see who it was?
No, I don't have it.
I think it was an interception or something. Some turnover.
Are the Jags going to get their first dub here?
Hey, maybe. I just turned the ball over at an opportune time, though. Alrighty. So we got Brent Gibson or Hasty. Oh, it's got to be Gibson. Come on. Come on. Thrive. CJ, talk to me.
Good. Couple of mimosas and Chillard's stomach today.
I don't know what he's talking about.
No idea what he's talking about. Brent Australia, Collins, Julio, Gibson, T.Y. Hilton. Pick two of these.
Gibson,
Collins?
Yeah, I go Gibson Collins there, Brent.
Hey, T.Y. Hilton does bend over the Texans. We'll say that. Ben Tomsick, CJ, that beard's looking mint. Of course it is. Wolf, you should be able to put I want a title with Tim Tebow in your gravestone.
Divine inspiration for that team, for sure.
Tony or A-Rob, PPR. Can't believe I'm asking that.
Tony. I'm not even bothering with A-Rob. If I have a decent option, Tony's got the juice. Go for it.
Mike Clay. I know we're down on A-Rob, but what do you think about the game narrative?
We already talked about that, right? I've seen the narrative. Bad secondary with no Jair. They're going to get down. They're going to have to throw. It all makes sense. It all probably should come to fruition. We've had plenty of good narratives for him so far this year that haven't. I'm out of it. I'm not into it.
Tomsick, Alex Collins, or hopefully falls into the end zone. Latavius Murray, full PPR.
Alex Collins, not the hopeful fall.
Tunes, will OBJ be better when Landry comes back, or does he suck?
Tunes, we know who you're rooting for. Landry's biggest fan of all time. I'm going. I don't know if it helps. Him and OBJ, like Baker and OBJ, just never have had it together, and I don't see that changing.
Mike Clay, Shepard's is Jones' security blanket. Yes, he is.
Yeah, he is. But that could have become Tony, given how explosive he's looked.
Oh, Chiller, do we have a mute button?
Yeah, I love it. Give us all the.
I don't see this Tony hype train. One good game by all accounts. He's very immature in his approach to the game. Sure, he's talented, but the throws he caught last week were largely off script.
I mean, they're going to be largely off script though, because that line continues to suck. He is good. I get the off field concerns. Like I get that immature punching.
I like immature wide receivers.
Exactly. That's like the guys that demand the ball and get the rock. Willard, of all people, like that, you talk about the eyeball test. How is this guy not past your eyeball test? Like he is a great player. It's not one good game. He's 6 for 75 the week before. Might have been even more impressive given the way he was juking out people after the catch. Like this guy is great. He is looking like a very solid player for sure. So Swiller, bad comments all around from, again, starting Philip Lindsay type of thing.
We're at Tunes at 11.
Yeah, I know. I lost my spot for a sec. This is where we were, so back to Tunes.
Tunes, A-Rob has to show me something this week or I'm hate cutting his ass. I feel you.
The only reason I'm encouraging people to just hang on is this is what I tweeted about hate cutting him, and people are like, no, just trade him. As if people are lining up to get Allen Robinson. Like, no, nobody is. But I'm only hanging on through the trade deadline in case he gets moved to some team like the Chiefs or something nuts. Like, you just never know what could happen. And I don't think anything's wrong with him as a player. It's just the QB's not looking his way, and the play calling has been atrocious.
Blenheim was just throwing balls in the air, and defenders were getting turned around because they're so bad. A number of them should have been intercepted. It is Mike Glennon, the longest neck in the league.
I love that. Davis Mills run for the money.
That's very true. Eat powder. Thanks, guys, and good luck this week. Was wondering if I should play half PPR Hardman. He has Mahomes. I have Kelsey. Otherwise, I have Tim Patrick, Collins, or Mooney. I mean, I can't do the Hardman thing. Maybe
Hardman is an up and down machine. I'm actually going with him in DraftKings in a bunch of formats. I would probably go Collins or Patrick and half PPR, though, safer. Hardman is like, if it sounds like, you need the upside and you can balance out Mahomes a bit. So I get it. I get that roll of the dice. If his team around Mahomes is a good one, I probably would go for that and just hope Hardman catches a bomb. But otherwise, if it's a pretty good battle, you want some more sure points, I'd go Timmy Patrick myself, and then Collins a quick second after that.
Ernie Soto, T.Y. Hilton, Bateman, Rondell Moore, Odell Beckham. Start 2 of these full PPR.
Oh, man. Hilton coming off the IR. He does get Houston, which is like the team he has just in his career destroyed more than any other. I don't want to start Odell. I really don't anywhere. I would probably go Rondell and maybe even T.Y. over Bateman coming off the IR. That's a tough one, though. What do you think?
I'm going T.Y. I love T.Y.
Yeah. You asked me 3 times in a row there. I'm putting you in timeout, Ernie. Don't ask it 3 times in a row. But yeah, I think I'm going T.Y. and hoping for the bomb against Houston. Is that what you said too? Oh, we already got that one. All righty.
Mike Clay, do I drop Heineke for Bateman and then scoop Heineke back off waivers for Dak's bye next week?
Oh, that's tough. I mean, I'd like to get Bateman a tryout week, but you don't want to miss out on Heineke facing Green Bay next week either as your fill-in. So for your roster, Heineke's probably more valuable, and if Bateman shows something, then pick him up next week type of thing. We already know Heineke's good. He's going to be a good fill-in for you.
Dustin, Rondell Moore, Sterling Shep.
I would go Sterling Shep myself. Sterling Shep. So we got touchdown. Slayton's inactive. Okay, good to know. I'll have to take him out of the rankings. And then Ben Thompson.
You missed Tom Tick. Stafford or Burrow for DFS?
I like Stafford. Always Stafford. Always Stafford.
Mahmoud, should we worry that Mike Williams didn't practice all week?
Good to see you, brother. No. He's one of those guys that doesn't worry me. As long as he's out there, they said he's going to be – they wouldn't play him unless he was ready to go, and he's ready to go. So the number 2 receiver in fantasy, he's in my lineup no matter what.
All right, I'm in like a psycho that like keeper league with Jimmy, so I'm like loaded at receiver, but I've picked the wrong one every single week. Devontae Adams always locked in. Then
yes,
it comes down to picking. It's sitting one of these: McLaurin, DJ Moore, or Mike Williams.
Oh man,
every single week I've picked wrong, and it's like
I probably would sit DJ Moore myself, but I'm sure you put him in last week when he had nothing, and then you'll bench him. He's gonna have like 150.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Giuseppe Russo, Jacoby, Renfro, or Ty half PPR.
I would go Myers. I love Myers today against Dallas. I'm locking him in.
Campanelli, full PPR, flex, pick one of these. Alex Collins, Khalil Herbert, or RSJ.
I would probably go Herbert there. I like Herbert more than Collins. I like Booker more than both. I would go. I gotta get Ty back in my rank and just throw him in there right now. I'd go Khalil Herbert here though. Full PPR does limit his ceiling a bit, but that's where I'm leaning.
Campanelli, standard pick one. Mayfield, Fields, or Mills. Yikes.
Good Lord. I think I go for Fields and hope for like a rushing TD or some crap. I don't know. That's bad.
Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday to you, brother.
Jeremy Anderson, half PPR. Javonte Williams, Damian Harris, or Booker. Pick 2 of these. Sitting Harris.
I would say Harris. Yeah, I'm on the same boat with you, CJ.
Mahmoud, Cooks, T. Higgins, or Hubbard. PPR.
I think I go Hubbard. I like a running back that's guaranteed like 75, 80% of the work anytime. I do love these receivers too, so that makes it tough. I think Higgins leads the Bengals in red zone targets and catches, even though he's missed two games already. He's just at red zone like a monster in that area. But I don't know. I like Hubbard. I like Hubbard the most. You're getting 20 touches. Do you feel the same way, CJ?
Yeah, I always kind of go with the running back there.
Yeah. Cooks is a really tricky one though. He could have one of those 20-point days that he was becoming like automatic with last last weekend. Oh man, that's tough.
Ryan Higgs, Alex Collins, Darrell Williams, Chase Edmonds need 2 of these running backs.
I think I'm gonna bench Edmonds maybe, and then Kadarius or Tony, or 1 for above flex. So you need 2 running backs, and then I go Jacoby over Tony. Do you go Tony over one of these running backs? Is that the question? I think Darrell
maybe over Collins. I think.
I don't know how I feel.
I don't really like Collins this week.
I don't really like Edmonds either. I don't love Darrell Williams. Like, I don't love any of these running backs. I might get.
Oh wait, no. Sorry. Yeah, I read it wrong. So I would go Collins, Williams, Jacoby.
So you need 2 running backs. Yeah. Collins, Darrell, and then Jacoby. But if you could go Tony over the running backs, I'd go Tony over Collins. I don't think I love Edmonds this week. I have him running back 25, but I don't feel great about that. Like, yeah, I have him ranked Collins, then Darrell, and then Edmonds at 25. So, I go Collins and Darrell, and then Jacoby. But I play Tony over Darrell if I could.
First, would you trade Aaron Jones and Deebo Samuel for Najee and Marquise Brown?
I would. No, I don't know. That's not like nobody. I can't pick a clear winner there. Like I love both sides of that. I think I prefer Aaron Jones and Deebo.
Yeah, I think I would just hang on.
I think I prefer Aaron Jones and Deebo, but it's so damn close. You say the same side?
Yeah, I would be. She done. Thanks, guys. My bad on the double question last week. So many people tapped and my question got lost.
Oh, yeah. No worries. I appreciate the apology. We get it. It's one of those ones where we see it like 18 times. You get it, she done. That's no issue. I appreciate it, but no apology needed.
Who would you rather keep rest of the season, Ramondre or Terrace Marshall? I'm giving Stevenson.
I'd say Stevenson. I do really think there's going to be a time where he becomes just a monster this year.
It could be today. Kyle Thunberg, A-Rob, and Jamal Williams officially active.
Yes. Alrighty. Great. I hope neither are in your lineups.
Sorry, just full PPR in the flex, Renfro, Shep, Beasley, or St. Brown. Every single one of these players is like that same player.
They're all, yeah, exactly. I kind of go Renfro.
They're all getting like 8 to 12 points.
I like Shep. I like Renfro. I think he's just the safest. 5 catches, 6 targets. You're going to get 10. You're going to get 12. The other guys are kind of hoping for that. So just go with Renfro, who keeps getting it done.
Juan Pena, hey guys, should I put in my flex? James Conner, Tyler Boyd, Mike Davis, Tony, Michelle, or Mike Carter? Mike Carter's on a bye, I believe.
Yeah, so no M Carter. I think I like Boyd the most. Davis is also on a bye. Juan, you gotta wake up over here, sir. I like Tyler Boyd today, though. I do. I think I'm gonna go with that. Boyd versus Tony's tough, but Detroit Lions, I think I like Boyd. What was the scoring on that one? Oh, he didn't say. So I don't know. A little tougher, but that's tough.
Derek Justin, full PPR, just traded Waddle and Miles Sanders for Josh Jacobs. Yeah.
It's like yay, I guess. And I don't really. I'd rather almost have the upside of Sanders getting into somewhere right, in my opinion. Casket up to 2.2. Yay. Denny Jennings, celebrate, baby. Triple the points he had, so let's not be too.
That's true. Tim Grassick, Darrell Williams, Sutton, or Jacoby Myers in the flex, full PPR.
I like Sutton just a little more than Jacoby Myers, but it's close, really close.
Derek Just, my running backs now are Kamara, Hunt, Fournette, Pollard, and Josh Jacobs.
Love the first 3, and then Pollard as a bench guy is about as juicy of a running back as you could ask for. So yeah, I like that a lot. Jacob just doesn't do much for me.
Everyone's active.
Including TY besides Slayton. Okay, cool. So I'm going to just make sure I don't have Slayton ranked. Slayton's out. Williams out. Oh, no. Devontae Parker out. They're both in my range. I thought I X'd out all these guys. Well, I guess not. Another week where I'm going to get destroyed in the fantasy rankings.
I know.
For having a wide receiver 90 in there. Like that, I fucking hate that shit. It's like, whatever. No one's going that far. I should just stop even ranking that far down. All right. T.Y. Hilton is going to slide in right above Van Jefferson at wide receiver 57 for you folks.
Very important. I know. We're way down at 11:47.
Okay. Hold on. Oh, yeah. Willard laughing. Hello, Willard.
Juan Pena, do you guys think McLaurin will go off tonight?
He should. I mean, they're going to need points. It's one of the more generous teams to wide receivers. Absolutely should happen.
Danny Jennings with no Eagles today, yard work, or drink beer and watch football. Wife saying yard work.
Yeah, I think you should go to yard work. Yeah, that sounds better than drinking beer and watching football, Denny. No brainer. No brainer. Although I would say this is like the no brainer McCaffrey #1, right? But there's a lot of risk to picking number 2 here. Watching beer, watch football. What's the injury risk? What's
what I would do, actually, I would have put us on your headphones, done yard work.
Yes.
And then you'd have it done by 1 o'clock.
Yeah, go get your yard work on in. That's where I would do too. Absolutely. We do have a super chat coming in, so we will jump up to Omar, who don't really have a question, just want to show love to the channel, buy a couple beers on me. Sweet. Omar, thank you so much. We greatly appreciate the support. You're a legend, man. Thank you for getting the super chat to us. So appreciate it. And you're here every week. That's awesome. You're a legend. Thank you so much. And everybody else out there can feel free to support the show with super chats like that, or thumbs up, shares, all that stuff. Also gets us out to more people, helps us answer more questions, and is greatly appreciated. It was a strip sack stumble. That sucks because I'm facing that defense, but a lot of points for them. Thanks again, Omar, though. Greatly appreciated.
Tim Grassick, Jared Cook, or Tyler Higbee?
Higbee for me. I get the good matchup for Cook. The Ravens are going to give the most points to tight ends, but they put up 40-something points last week, and Cook had 2 fantasy points. It's just so up or down for me.
Yeah, with Pitts on the bye this week, I picked up Cook right away. Well, not right away, but on waivers, and then I decided to go with RSJ like 2 days ago just because of the name.
For which one?
I have Pitts on the bye, so I picked up Jared Cook, and then 2 days ago I was like, I'll go RSJ this week.
Yeah,
so Cook will probably go off. But
there you go.
Roth, Tiberius, Kane, Tony's a stud dude, no debate.
I agree. I'm with you. I think that's probably directed at Chillard himself. Great show, guys. Wish I had better. Yeah, I wish I had better set starts too for yourself, man. But no, we love it. And don't worry, we love the interaction. It's not, even though we might get feisty back at you, Chillard. That's all good natured, good football banter. I guess Tua got picked off as well. Thank you for keeping us updated.
Ralph Tibbers Kane, London game is good. Nice to see both teams playing hard.
Yay! Effort.
Did you see the video from this morning? Some nice English lad just walked onto the field and just dapped up the players. It looked like it was a movie or something. He just had a Jaguars jersey with white spandex on. That's and awesome. He just no security tackled him. They were just let him do his thing, got a few daps in, and then just got walked up.
Just some London love all around. Oh, that's great. That's awesome.
What up, Willis? Full PPR, stop Pollard, Jamal Williams, or Connor?
I like Pollard the most there. Upside, especially with Zeke, questionable. He's playing, but Pollard, as CJ was saying at the beginning, no match for the speed. Our linebackers would get destroyed by his speed for sure.
Tony Kamaj traded Chuba to McCaffrey owner for Michael Thomas.
That's actually not a horrible deal. I think he can get more, though. The McCaffrey owner, my guess, is in more desperate times. See if he can squeak out a little bit more. But I do like the idea and the thought process there. Get Michael Thomas plus something, I would say, Tony.
Well, Penny, you think Amari will catch a touchdown against our Patriots? Rooting for the Patriots to win, but rooting for Amari to go off.
Oh, that tough spot where you want a 45 to 38 barn burner where all the points go to your one guy, but we still win. I think Amari should be fine. I don't know. He is boom or bust, so it's tricky. He's a hard one this year. 13 freaking catches in week 1, and then I don't even know if he's had 13 combined since. It's just so up or down with him. But he absolutely could. I don't know. What are your thoughts? I have no good read on this.
Yeah, I mean, if I were to bet Amari Cooper anytime touchdown, would I? Probably not. But I can still see him getting his points, though. I mean, he'll still get probably double-digit targets.
Yeah, let us know who your other options are, and we can kind of give you whether you should play him or not.
Brandy Martin, Shepard, Sutton, Herbert need one of these flex PPR, half PPR.
I would go Sutton there, Brandy. He's been pretty damn good all year.
Ben Thompson, pray for the women of London if Urban Meyer loses this game. Good luck this weekend.
Yeah, they haven't had a thunder roll through there since Blake Bortles was in London. Quite like the Urban Meyer's storm that could be coming.
Tony Kamaj, how can I improve my roster for long-term success? Kyler, Ridley, Gibson.
We can't answer something like that on a sit-start Sunday. Shoot me messages and things. We have our trade value charts, our buy low, but it's I can't go into all the different trades you could potentially manipulate on this. Come on.
You like DM us on Instagram. I'll answer those when I'm bored on like a Tuesday afternoon. John P, Edmonds, or Collins?
I would go Collins myself, John P. And Tony, again, I don't mean that as an a-hole. We get so many questions. It's tough to like do a whole roster breakdown on a show like this, you know?
Tunes, I have St. Brown as my receiver 3. Would you take Aguilar, Humphreys, or Van Jefferson?
I would rather have St. Brown than those guys. Humphreys is my next man up for a start, but I like St. Brown because he brings upside, plus it's the same type of like usability as Humphreys too. So I like St. Brown the most there.
Boss.
Thank you.
He just asked that, Tony, about Chuba.
So yeah, I think you know, like I think you can get more for Chuba at this point.
Dane Jennings, thanks, boys. It's outside. I'll go. I'll be careful with the hedge trimmer.
Yeah, you don't want a truth accident like on Thursday. Bleeding truth.
Tony Kamaj, he has Madison. I have Cook. Should I ask for Madison as well as Mike Thomas?
I think you should get Madison and Mike Thomas for Chuba would be I think that's a good, fair trade. I like that for you, Tony. I think you should absolutely squeeze that out.
Tunes, Gesicki has 18 PPR points for a touchdown. Thanks for reassurance this morning.
There you go. I love it. And I started him for Hillary. I actually did something right for her in her league. Yay. Good stuff.
You got yourself another month. Kyle Timberg, second touchdown for Waddle.
Nice. Awesome. Good for him. I told Lewis to bench Waddle today. Nice. Good. That's good to see, though, for him long-term with Tua. I mean, clearly a nice rapport there. I need no worries. You understand. Awesome. Bless you as well, Tony. Or maybe you're correcting my sneeze, but bless you as well. Many blessings indeed.
Zafrika, CD, Lockett, Woods, Kadarius, Tony. Which one do I sit?
I would probably sit Tony. I love the player, but man, you got so many loaded options there, Zafrika. I would be benching Tony there. Maybe that's the last we got. Look at that. Maybe a little bit of a lighter show today. Maybe we're just getting more efficient. I don't know. But with those weird ranking things, I do think this is actually makes sense to get off a little early today. Make sure the rankings are all set. But guys, thank you so much for being here. Thanks for interacting, asking all your questions you can find. I'm going to go update the rankings now. Those will be at rotostreetjournal.com in about 10, 15 minutes. Check those out. Best of luck in DFS stuff as well. Hopefully the rest of the London game goes well for you. Unless you have Marvin Jones, then screw him. And awesome. Thanks again, guys. All right, we got a couple more. We'll answer if any more come in while we're doing our sign-off here.
909 Orbits. Darrell Williams or Tony full PPR?
I would go Darrell. No, I'm going Tony. Screw it. I'm going Tony there. Way more upside. Go for the Hail Mary.
Waddle has up to 25 PPR points.
Good shit, Mitch. Glad you started him, but I would a little skeptical today, so I'm glad he's panned out as well as he has. They had no one else to throw to, and it's worked out really well. Thanks again, guys, for being here. I'm the Wolf. I'm
CJay.
That's Sister CJay in a world full of fancy sheep, guys. Be a wolf. Gotta start drinking early. Indeed, Omar. I'm sorry, Waddle, doing those bad things to you, but love you guys. Thanks for being here, and best of luck today. Let's win a milli. Let's win all your